Welcome to Redeeming Thunder. This is chapter 65, part 2 of the Revamp Productions regarding the prodigal spouse that does not return. Okay? Given to me on 10/6/2025, and this is a very important message for those because the Most High is stating that there is a warning. There is warfare ahead. I heard that after I received this prophetic dream. And it's manifesting now in April. I'm recording it in April. And it's manifesting now, if not even in March. Okay? So, here is the prophetic dream. I saw a woman driving in a car. And she had parked to the side of the road because she was trying to do some work. So she was prepping some of her work in her car. Okay? The vehicle represents the journey of your life, your ministry. Okay? So, even though she was working in her car, that's what it represents. Okay, so she realized she was working and working for hours. Suddenly, the car was moving backwards as if it was in the shift of the reverse shift in the car. And so she began to drive. She put it in the drive gear, and then she began to drive, and she's looking for another location to stop and to continue her work. So she saw that there was a rest area where there was a white wall and a bright sunlight was shining upon, and there were palm trees there besides the white wall, and there was parking spots. So she parked in one of the parking spots, and as she's parked there, she notices that there were two men. When she looked back to she looked through her mirror. She was in an angle where she looked back, and she saw there was a highway there, and there was two men standing on the main highway. One wore all pink. It looked like velvet pink shirt with velvet pink pants that represented someone that is in a man that is in their feminine role. Okay? And then another man who wore white linen, white shirt, and cargo shorts. And she noticed that they were actually waiting for her. And they were there purposefully to stop her when she decided to get back on the road, to stop her from driving beyond that point. Okay? So she was a bit nervous. I felt her nervousness, and she decided to back out of the parking spot where the white wall was at and the palm trees, and she decided to try to press the accelerator to zoom past both of those men that were standing there. And so she had adjusted her shirt, and then she noticed that her vehicle was not working properly, and she could not zoom past. And both of them told her that she needed to go with one of the men. Okay? Suddenly, she's in an ancestral home, what has to do with foundations when you have a dream of ancestor home. And she's in the room by herself. She's not sharing the room with anybody. And that one man with the white shirt and the cargo pants had taken her to that home. Okay, and so she's in the room by herself. She's trying to figure out how to escape. Almost like the story of Rapunzel, it seemed like. Okay, and she had not figured out a plan yet. So she's just kind of stagnant there. And she could hear footsteps, and she could hear him coming. And now she's feeling that she needs to prep some outfits to look lovely. Okay, sensual outfits that he would enjoy, to admire her in. So she quickly gathered her outfits on a pile of the floor, the ones that she knows that he adores on her. Okay, this could be like a King Amalek who is providing pampering treatment, right? And it could seem like if he's pampering you with treatment, somebody is lavishing with gifts, you may feel inclined that you have to perform, or you feel like you may have to provide moments of admiration to satisfy their gaze in order to thank them for their gifts. Okay? And anyways, he opened the door because it was locked on her end, so she couldn't get out. And she had to pretend that she desired him. She had to pretend that everything was all right. She had to pretend that everything was calm and collected, but internally she felt almost like that story of Phantom of the Opera. She's stuck in the dungeon, right? And she's going with the flow of things to make it so she's, almost in some kind of trance, it seemed like, because she was in a lot of fear. And to kind of sway him off of alert that she actually wanted to escape. So, in other words, her nervous system was all out of whack. And then she's doing the pretending to be fine. Okay? Just as Christine was in the Phantom of the Opera. Okay? Kind of trapped down there. And a lot of people do that. They pretend that they're fine, and they stuff it, and it just manifests on other emotional pain all over the body, somewhere else. Okay? So I wouldn't recommend doing that. So, anyways, he desired her in a sensual way. She could tell by his pupils dilating. He had a certain smirk, and he was trying to embrace her, okay, in the dream. And she was sort of trying not to act suspicious, and so she was engaging in a subtle manner just to keep him off the radar until she figured out an escape plan. And then I woke up and I'm like, that was a terrible dream. What a nightmare to feel so uncomfortable that way. Don't you think? So the Most High sent that dream for you to reflect. Are you truly happy? Are you lying to yourself? Are you waiting for that individual to change? Okay, because in the series here of the ordained spouse and the prodigal spouse does not return. So he represents the one in the white shirt with the cargo pants. He also represents the one that's wearing a very feminine outfit, all pink velvet fabric outfit, jumpsuit. Almost looks like a workout outfit. Okay, had some gemstones on the outfit, and it's like Obviously, that's someone representing a man being in their feminine aura. And when a man represents himself that way, he automatically enforces the woman to then take on the masculine era. Okay, energy. You can't have two feminine in a relationship. All right. And so that would be someone that takes on that machista persona. And the other individual that wore the white shirt with the cargo pants represents someone that is trying to maintain their masculine energy. So the one that came to the room is someone that has been working on themselves a bit, or enforced to. Okay? And so there is a sense that maybe that person has been adapting into their masculine energy, so that you can be in your feminine, because she was in her feminine, because now she's trying to wear these cute sensual outfits, right? But even so, it just didn't feel right. I could feel her energy and it didn't feel right. As if he had a potential and maybe you had focused on his potential to be that person in his masculine so you can be in your feminine. But something's off. It feels off. She still wanted to escape. She still felt like that Rapunzel that needed to leave. Why? Why? Okay, I also heard sudden and rash knocking, about 10 knocks. Alright, so the 10 knocks represent spiritual prompt to ask, seek, and knock. Suggests that one should be aware of a significant spiritual shift or opportunity. And one's going to be thinking, well, he's finally evolving into the man that you wanted him to be. And the reason why it feels off is because the timing, it's past the time. Okay? Not only that, but you paid attention to a pattern. And it's not enough that that person is trying to be who he was supposed to be all along. One good moment or two is not resolving the history of it. And it's not that you're holding a grudge, but there was a time frame in the past where that person was supposed to change and they didn't meet the mark. Right? So just be aware, because the Most High said, warning, there is warfare ahead. Why would he say there is warfare? Maybe it's warfare because that person keeps swapping from masculine role to feminine role, masculine role to feminine role at any given time of day and week. And it's exhausting. Right? This is going to manifest in April. I'm recording it in April. I'm posting it in April. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to stay in praise and worship. Okay? Because she was working on her work while driving in the car on the ministry. And there was a roadblock of those individuals there. That means you're supposed to continue the prophetic word over your life. The wounded child, unhealed wounded child, the feminine role energy, and the illusion of change is confusing. It could be confusing to you. Okay? So that's why it's saying it could be warfare. And all of those conflicting personalities is deceiving. Because love shouldn't be confusing. True love shouldn't be confusing like the Phantom of the Opera. That was super confusing. Phantom was, maybe they had some kind of high attraction and gifted, okay, with their musical arts. But he was very controlling and manipulative, okay? And so what the Most High wants you to do is go in, be intuitive, pay attention to how you feel. Don't stuff it. Don't pretend. Set your boundaries. Someone once told me, your shield, your integrity is your shield. Your sword is your truth. Stay in your truth and set your boundaries. Shalom.